Welcome to Offensive, where every show ends in a three-way tie, guaranteed. We know that football fans love ties. Like you wear a tie when you wake up in the morning. You tie your shoes when you wake up in the morning. We love ties. There's nothing better in life than a tie. What do you do? You guys agree? Do you just love watching football
Thai
ties?
food is delicious.
Thai food's delicious. Also,
Bow ties are cool.
Mm-hmm.
The only time a tie is ever acceptable is in wrestling when there's a ladder match or a chair match and both guys hit each other with the chair at the same time.
It would be both guys are on the chair at the same time and hit each other.
And
with
they
the chair
both
at
hit
the
each
same
other
time.
and they both knock each other out. That's the only time.
Only if it's the
acceptable.
Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. It's the only time a tie is acceptable.
Or demolition.
Or
monsters. Yeah. All right. Yeah, what a freaking week. All right, what are we doing?
We're doing first, guy, is called the weekend roundup, and I don't know if you can round up any more points because we have a lot of scoring going on in the NFL. In fact, so many points that we don't even care how games end if there's a winner or loser. We just want scoring and excitement nonstop. But for our weekend roundup, Dave, you are gonna head this segment, and what's the weekend roundup? Tell us about it.
Two games I want to talk about. Well, actually, first one I want to say the Chargers. It used to be that West Coast teams, if they had to go to the East Coast, it would spell bad luck just because their bodies aren't used to playing that early and whatnot. I sort of thought maybe the outcome of the Giants game was partly that, plus going from LA all the way to New York. And then you look at the roundup and then you're reminded, oh yeah, not only were they without their left tackle who they lost in the preseason, then they lost Joe Alt to a high ankle sprain. He might be facing the IR. Mekhi Becton, who they signed off of Philly last year, who resurrected his career playing at guard, he wasn't able to play because he's in the concussion protocol. So now you have the 3-0 Justin Herberts running for his life because he's facing a 40% pressure rate against that pass rush that the Giants were able to bring.
They got a decent line on the Giants.
Oh, yeah, the Giants have that exciting line. And if you can't protect Herbert, it can go bad awful quick. Ladd McConkey wasn't able to do much. The rookie running back, Hampton, he finally got his big run. That looked exciting. But it's got to be awful scary if you're a Chargers fan. What a difference 1 week can make when you lose your second tackle. You're supposed to have one of the best tackles in the league. Cheers to the Giants. They got their win. It was exciting with the rookie quarterback. Scary about Neighbors, though. He's on my dynasty team, and I'm just looking forward to the draft in 2027 because I traded away my 26th first. So good news for the Giants. They're excited. Their running back looks great. The human brick wall. Scadaboo. Oh, yeah.
So him and Dart are an interesting combination because Dart's actually pretty quick. And I liked how the Giants actually ran up some actual running plays for Dart, on purpose. Might as well use his athleticism. And then you got Scadaboo, who just wants to run into people. So, yeah, it's kind of a nice little balance. I liked what the Giants did. Jackson Dart looked pretty good. I mean,
and he's 6'2", so he's not 6'4", but he's tallish.
Who, Scadaboo or Jackson Dart?
Jackson Dart.
That's not tall enough for your requirements.
No, it's not. But he's the one exception to the rule.
I don't think so. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
No, but it at least might have saved his head coach's job at least for another couple of weeks. And it was great how they ran the same play with him that they tried with Russell Wilson last week, and Russell looked awful on the read option.
Yeah.
And, he's younger, faster, quicker. It's a lot more excitement. And even if you think you're only going to be a 6 or 7 win team this season with a rookie quarterback, it's going to be a hell of a lot more exciting to go to the games. You're looking forward to buying a Giants jersey.
Yeah, have him run a college offense. Make it exciting. Run a triple option. He looks like he can do it, so why not?
Yep.
And then the other game I want to touch on is, I got to ask you, you said that if a certain team kept it close against the Rams, that maybe they'd get your respect. They were tied in the fourth quarter, despite Indiana Jones throwing a pick on his first drive. He tried throwing a pick on his second drive. Fortunately, the defender dropped it. But did he crumble like the New York Giants, Daniel Jones? No, my friend. He came back. He persevered. The whole team, even after Adonai Mitchell fumbled it in transitioning it from one hand to the other after that amazing play. Even after Adonai Mitchell negated a long Jonathan Taylor run with a holding that was not necessary, another touchdown that was negated. Despite those miscues, they were still in the game. So
they
even
should
though
have
they
won
lost,
the game.
Exactly, they should have won the game. So are you going to say that they're a good team?
No, they should have won. They screwed themselves. Honestly, yeah, the Colts played really well that game, and they made some errors. Kind of the theme of the weekend that I noticed was that teams were shooting themselves in the foot. Whatever team shot themselves in the foot more, I mean, which is normally a theme, but it seemed like a lot this weekend. There was a lot of mental errors, a lot of mistakes, a lot of bad turnovers. I mean, the Adonai Mitchell thing is just crazy. The way that he made that awesome catch and then goes into the end zone, fumbles it out of the, like, how often does that ever happen? Right. So
Jonathan Taylor did that last year.
Yeah, no, I think the Colts are good. I think I'll admit the Colts are good. They're definitely like a contender to make the playoffs, but I still think the Jaguars are taking that division. I don't know why. I like the Jags at 3-1 to win that division still. I need to see a little bit more of Daniel Jones, but you're right, Dave. He kind of looked gross to start the game, and he didn't deteriorate. He actually got back into it. So that's a really good sign. I think that has a lot to do with the coaching in Indianapolis as well. So, yeah, I think the Colts can play with the good teams now. So they did a good job in that game. I agree.
And on the other side of that game, we also had the league MVP, Puka Nacua, who's on pace for 200 receptions, 3,000 yards, 80 touchdowns.
3,000 yards.
That's all.
No, he looked amazing. And, you know, we said it before the season, Matthew Stafford, he hyper targets. And granted, it's not necessarily just hyper targets. He has also thrown it to Devontae Adams, who was questionable with the injury. But they also, one of the issues that the Colts have, they have a solid defense, but their number 2 cornerback is kind of iffy. He's actually pretty bad. And what happens is veteran quarterback, smart coach, they go after that. And if you can go out with Puka Nacua, why wouldn't you? Chardavius Ward, he grades out great. He did awesome. But Green Bay had the same problem where they have a weak second DB. A smart head coach, call a smart game plan. You go after that with a stud wide receiver, and it can be your kryptonite. But the Colts should at least be able to get to the playoffs. Might be able to win a game. I think it's exciting.
They literally can just, Nacua is going to get so much yards, they only need his yards. Like the rest of the team could just get like 1 yard a game. I mean, he almost is on track for 3,000 yards right now. Like,
he has
play
42
tight end
receptions. 42 receptions. That's
he can, what I wonder what position on offense is he going to play quarterback at some point too? Like he could play tight end for them, wide receiver, slot, running back.
This is why Matthew Stafford's wide receivers get hurt all the time. Like that's way too much usage after 4 games, and he threw to Devontae Adams 4 times.
He got a touchdown for me
15 times. Like he hyper targets like a madman. It's insane.
Because he's a genius.
Well, it works until your receiver gets hurt, which is Puka's going to get hurt. That's 42 times that he, let's say he got caught the ball out of bounds a couple times. So he's already been hit 30 some times, which is probably more than like whole teams of receivers at this point, right? Because Stafford also throws it in a lot of positions where his receivers, take a lick here and there. So yeah, dude.
Nacua himself has gotten 26 first downs this year so far.
Watch Puka Nacua have like 2,200 yards after like game 11, and then get hurt for the rest of the season, right? Like
he's gonna have 3,000 receiving yards. Like
break the record.
He's gonna be like a quarterback. Like it's gonna be him and Caleb Williams, who has more yards. Is gonna be or Jordan Love.
I would love to see Puka Nacua get an MVP, but what's sad is if Puka had 3,000 yards, they'd still give it to Stafford. They'd give Stafford the MVP or something.
I don't know because the rest of the team's going to have 0 yards, so it's going to be.
Did Cooper Kupp give the MVP?
Nope.
No.
And he had record-breaking.
No, but the difference is Puka Nacua is tall and he runs guys over. This is the Jared Allen effect. When you turn on the screen and you just see Jared Allen just stiff arming a guy and walking into the end zone, you're just kind of like, guy looks like an MVP. He just looks like one. Like what are you gonna do against that guy? So now Puka Nacua is pulling a Josh Allen, where he's just like anything you do and he's just running guys over, running past them. I don't even know. I've never seen a wide receiver do this before, where he just can pretty much do anything he wants and he just keeps scoring.
Do you guys remember Eddie from the A-Team?
Oh yeah, they brought him on
like
at the end.
sidekick guy. Somebody said Puka Nacua looks like Eddie from the A-Team, and I can't get it out of my head now. So good old Eddie.
Probably related.
Yeah. He's like, that's how he's treated though. He's so good, but they'll never give him an MVP. They would give it to Stafford. They would definitely give it to Stafford. I'm looking at them both right now. Yeah, I can kind of see the resemblance.
He's third on the team in rushing yards, guys, with 52 yards.
He's also second on the team in passing yards, like everybody else.
He's tied. Hey, he's first on the team in touchdowns. He's literally tied with rushing touchdowns, number one, with one touchdown.
That's hilarious.
He's literally number one on the team in every category you could want.
All right. So what other games were we looking at? Doug, what did you look at this weekend? What did you like?
Oh, it's funny. The Rams is the team I was going to talk about. We already kind of are. Fair enough. Okay. So Davante Adams, he looks good. Visually, he doesn't look that slow. He looks kind of just like normal Davante Adams at this stages in his career. He got a couple touchdown passes. It's kind of funny this weekend. I'm flipping around between games. I'm having some on the screen, like split screens. Every time I turn the game back and forth, it was the Colts screwing up, like throwing a pick or the fumble in the end zone, or it was the Rams doing something amazing. So I'm just like shocked that it was close at the end because it looks like the Rams are dominating. But and especially if you look at the Rams, like if you look at like their, say their PFF grades or something, the Rams are performing well. Verse has got a 91 overall at defensive end. They've got good players everywhere. Tutu Atwell's not even a starter, and he broke out in this crazy touchdown, right? Like he's so fast. Tyler Higbee's maybe the only guy they have at a position that's not like Pro Bowl level. Like they just have Pro Bowlers everywhere. Quarterback, offensive line's pretty decent. Even their safeties are playing well. Their cornerbacks are playing decent. Their edge rushers. I don't know. And they're such a different team than the Eagles. But right now, I'm thinking the Rams and the Eagles are the best teams in the NFC, and it's pretty obvious.
I mean, the Rams almost beat the Eagles in Philadelphia, and then they got the field goal block. So like. The Rams-Eagles, I think it's pretty clear they're 1-2.
And I want all the attention on them and not the Packers, so the Packers can hopefully make a comeback and get back in the race. But like, they don't do well when everyone thinks they're going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they definitely don't. As soon as they get a little bit of limelight, they fold.
But I was worried about the age of Stafford, of Davante Adams and all this stuff. Stafford literally has like hyperbaric chambers and all this stuff for his back and everything.
Yeah.
But like, if they can play well and block for him well enough, like, man, these wide receivers can do all the work. They don't need Stafford to run around or anything crazy. You just get the ball to these guys and stuff happens. Their running back's doing decently well. I think this is a typical Rams team where they're going to be in the running for the playoffs, and it just depends if they stay healthy, right? Because if Puka Nacua goes down, that's like 90% of their offensive yards.
Or Stafford, Puka Nacua or Stafford. One good hit on Stafford, but luckily the way the McVay offense.
But Jimmy Garoppolo could just throw it to Nacua every play.
I'm sure Jimmy would actually do fairly decent.
He could just throw it to Nacua every play also.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Jimmy, I think Jimmy would do okay. He'd throw like a pick or two per game, but I think
he could win a few games for him or something.
Yeah. All right.
How about what game did you like, Neckbeard?
Well, honestly, I think my takeaway from this weekend was like not necessarily a single game. It was just like the amount of mistakes and just completely disgusting turnovers and crazy errors that we haven't seen seemed on like a super high level this weekend. I mean, the Browns couldn't wait to lose that game. The Raiders couldn't wait to try to lose that game. Do you know what I mean? You could throw the Packers in there. They didn't make as many mistakes, but they made enough. The Vikings in their game basically, fumbled their way out of it and made a bunch of mental errors. It was just
the Steelers tried to give the game away too, but
the Steelers also tried to give
it was a battle for who could make the dumbest mistakes.
Yeah, it's almost like I expected this level of like kind of mess like the first 2 weeks, and by week 3 it should be better. But it was like at the highest level this week, right? So the mediocrity of mistakes, but. The one thing I will say is that, the Big Show, I was really hoping that he would beat the Eagles, and they got whomped. They got stomped down there in Tampa Bay. So I think the Buccaneers 3-0 start, where they basically had to grind out those 3 wins. I think they're still going to win their division, but the Buccaneers, the Eagles trounced them pretty good after, the Eagles and the Rams went head to head in Philadelphia, and that was really close. So I don't think the Bucs are as close to challenging as we thought, because that was a pretty dominant win by the Eagles.
Baker tried to bring him back at the end.
Did you look at Saquon's numbers?
Yeah.
They shut down the rushing attack pretty darn well. They got, the Eagles, they got all their points in the first half. The Bucs, last year they had a very terrible secondary where they were giving up record numbers seemingly of passing yards.
Right.
Hurts didn't complete a single pass in the second half.
He didn't have to. He didn't have to. So the Eagles defense has been the issue, right? Baker threw 40 times, Dave, for 289 yards, and he only had 22 receptions. So that's 22. That's a really low completion percentage. Bucky Irving, 15 carries for 63 yards, right? Bucky Irving also their number one receiver with 102 yards because he had that one long touchdown. So you take that long touchdown away, Dave, and Baker's stats are basically 39 passes for 200 yards. That's pretty bad.
Well, they're also out Mike Evans, and Godwin's coming back now. So
yeah, I'm just saying you don't have Evans. Godwin, it's his first game. But
in games like that, Mike Evans is a big deal, I think.
Everybody's got injuries, man. I mean,
Saquon only had 19 carries for 43 yards.
Okay, so
he only had 2.3 yards average.
Yeah. Dude, every game Saquon's been held in check, by the way. You know that, right? Every team has held Saquon in check. So
they're loading the box on him, right?
The Bucs also doing it is not impressive. Like, I'm sorry, everyone's held Saquon in check this year. What was bothering me?
Can you really say they dominated when Hurts only threw for 130 yards?
I mean, they were up by 3 scores. Dave, they were up by 3 scores in that game until the long Bucky Irving touchdown. It was a 3-score game. So, yeah, I count that as being dominated. In the second half, if you're up by 3 scores, that's a pretty big deal. So, I mean, I'm not saying the Bucs are terrible. I just thought it would be a lot better than it actually was. And Philadelphia 100% took their foot off the gas in this game, right? Because they were up by so much in the third quarter. And then the Bucs got, another 14 points on them or whatever after that. So, yeah, I don't think this game was ever in jeopardy, to be honest with you. Just to be completely honest, I don't think this game was ever.
Baker Mayfield's QBR is 22. That's really bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
He just didn't play well.
No.
Yeah, and Baker had an off day. That's going to happen.
And let's remember what won the Super Bowl last year was the Eagles' defense, not their offense. The Eagles' defense was dominating people, and they started slow. And even against the Rams, you saw signs of it. But I thought the defense in this game of Philadelphia was like considerably better than the Bucs.